Still think Fox News is fair and balanced? Think again. Today, the online media watchdog Media Matters released a leaked email from 2009 that shows Rupert Murdoch's so-called news network deliberately attempted to slant their coverage of the healthcare debate, a slant in favor of Republicans. For more on this story, the Senior Director of Research at Media Matters, Melinda Warner, joins me now. Hey, Melinda.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thanks for showing up. Tell us about this story. How did you learn about this?
So we actually received a package of emails from a Fox source, and included in that package is an email exchange between Bill Salmon, the Washington bureau chief, and Michael, Senior Vice President of News at Fox. And essentially what's happening is Bill Salmon sent this email directing Fox staff to refer to the public plan, which of course I'm sure you know is an important part of the Democratic,
option, yeah.
Right, the public option, directing them to refer to it as the government-run plan. If they had to call it the public option, say the so-called public option, and Michael Clemente reinforced his Salmon's email saying, yes, absolutely use the government-run plan and do not refer to it as the public plan.
That's, you know, in fact, we've got a little bit of video from Fox News when one of these Fox folks, you can see this moment where, you know, on television we all have this little earpiece, and the producer can, you know, shout things at us in our ears, and you can see the moment when he gets it's the government plan, not the public option, or the government. Here it is. Take a look at this.
In this press conference, that she may be okay with the public option not being.
We have experience with a triggered public option.
Should we say government option, by the way?
Or government option. Okay.
Everybody
government
gets it.
option. It's in Medicare.
Shouldn't we say government option, by the way?
Right, you're right. You absolutely see that moment where he remembers the email and all of a sudden wants to correct Mara Liasson. You have to be on message. Make sure you have the messaging points.
Yeah.
And you can definitely see that moment.
Yeah. In fact, does this prove that there's no difference between Fox News and just plain old flat-out propaganda?
I think so. What's interesting is the timeline of what happened during 2009. In early spring 2009, AHIP, America's Health Insurance Plans, gave Republican members of Congress a messaging document that they had tested, enforcing the fact that they wanted the public option to be called the government-run plan, that people liked the sound of a government, of the public option, but did not like government-run plan. Then, closely following that, Frank Luntz issued his memo about government takeover. The Democrats are trying to destroy everything. This is socialism. They're taking over. That happened in April, and so we saw a slow build of those sorts of talking points going throughout the Republican Party and conservative media. And then in August, at a point when we had a majority of Americans supporting the public option, Frank Luntz went on Sean Hannity's show and said, nope, you need to call it the government-run plan because people like the public option. And then you have...
You mean he came right out and said it?
Oh, he came right... He was absolutely 100% clear about what people needed to do. And then, of course, we had the August recess of 2009 where we had just crazy behavior at town halls all across the America on part of everyone who was out there. And then on October 27th, when this email exchange went out, by that time, the rhetoric had been cemented that everything coming from the government was bad, that everything coming from Democrats was a socialist takeover, and by asserting that Fox News, you know, so-called news, needs to be calling the public option a government run, they're just applying a derogatory term to something that Americans actually supported.
You know, arguably, pre-'87, when Reagan stopped the enforcement of the Fairness Doctrine, which actually was a programming in the public interest doctrine. Only one radio or television company had ever been prosecuted for not being fair. It really was about programming in the public interest. And then '96, when Clinton signed the Telecommunications Act. Was it '96? Whatever year. Yeah, it was '96.
I think so.
Prior to those things, it would have been, I don't know if illegal is the right word, maybe impossible is the right word, because radio and television stations derived their license from the fact that they provided news. It would have been impossible to call a channel news and actually deliver propaganda.
Right.
Now it's not only legal, Rupert Murdoch is making a pile of money.
Right.
How do we wake America up to this?
You know, I'm not sure. Fox News has their tagline, fair and balanced. They're clearly not fair and balanced. They tried to justify the fact that they do have opinion makers on their channel by saying it's similar to how a newspaper has the news section and the editorial section. But that really doesn't fly when you see that the Washington bureau chief and the senior vice president of news are telling their news anchors to refer to something as the government-run option. And at the very least, Fox News needs to drop their fair and balanced tagline, because there's nothing fair and balanced
I think
as
they need to drop the word news.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's not news. I mean, I don't call this news. This is an opinion show. It's, you know, I'm upfront about it, and it's nothing. Anyhow, Melinda, thank you so much for coming out tonight. And thanks for the great work that Media Matters does.
Thank you.
Please pass my best regards along.
Oh, I will.
There. Thank you. New slogan of Fox News, or faux news: they manipulate, you're brainwashed.